Chapter 5. The 19th Century Philippine Economy, Society, and the Chinese Mestizos. This chapter will discuss the changing landscape of Philippine economy in the 19th century and describe how these developments had an impact on the society, in which Rizal grew up, matured, and eventually was martyred. First is the changing landscape of Philippine economy in the 19th century, and how this development had an impact on the society. The economic development of the Spanish policies on education, social life, and the people in the Philippines. The role of an important population, the Chinese Mestizos, in Philippine life and economy. Global events continued to affect the Philippines at the beginning of the 19th century. As the Philippine economy hung in the balance, policies were recalibrated and with the eventual closing of the Real Philippine Company. Manila was open to world trade by 1834. As a result, foreign merchants and traders came and eventually resided in Manila and took over the role of financing and facilitating the burgeoning agricultural cash crop, export-oriented economy. The rapid development of the economy began to flow in the Philippines through cash crops, and the importance of land became more evident as cash crops became the major source of revenue in the colony. Moving on, the Chinese and Chinese Mestizos. The sectors that greatly benefited from the changing economy were the Chinese and Chinese Mestizos. Since pre-colonial times, the natives of the Philippines had trade relations with the Chinese. The Chinese, however, proved to be necessary outsiders in Philippine colonial economy and society. Although the Spaniards were wary of the Chinese, they realized the importance that the latter played in sustaining the economy. The Chinese Mestizos assumed an important role in the economy all throughout the Spanish colonial period. They influenced the changing economy in the 19th century by purchasing land, accumulating wealth, and influence. Next one is the impact on life in the colony. The economic developments, as mentioned, precipitated social, political, and cultural development as well. For example, the new economy demanded a more professionalized workforce to man the trading activities in Manila and other centers. This demand compelled the issuance of the colonial government order in 1836 that required all towns to set up primary schools to teach the population how to read and write. It eventually led to the passage of an education decree in 1863 that mandated free primary education. Eventually, the 19th century also gave birth to many schools that addressed the growing demand for more professionals. Schools like Ateneo were established during that time. As Manila became a trading center, it became a viable destination for people seeking a better opportunities or those wanting to escape the worsening conditions in the farmlands. The increased rate of internal migration raised several concerns. One, people flocked the centers of trade like Manila. Overcrowding implied issues in living quarters, sanitation, and public health. An increase in criminality. Lastly, the renegotiating social stratification. The Philippine society felt the impact of the developing economy. As a result, social relations underwent redefinition. The changing dynamics brought about a renegotiation of social stratification. With the growing relevance of the mestizo population, new lines were drawn with the following social strata. Peninsular, pure-blooded Spaniard born in Iberian Peninsula. Spanish mestizo, one parent is Spanish, the other is a native. Chinese mestizo, one parent is Chinese, the other is a native. As the Spaniard lost economic power in the 19th century, they asserted dominance by virtue of their race. This issue brought complications with the rising Principalia and Mestizo population, who realized their indispensable position in society as movers and facilitators of the economy. That's all for our topic. Thank you.